Hey, ojúmọ́ ti mọ́ ara mi, ẹ gbéra nílẹ̀ iṣẹ́ ti yá. Ojúmọ́ ti mọ́ ọ̀rẹ́ mi, ẹ gbọ́nra jìgì ká túra mú. Oníṣẹ́ ọwọ́, alákọ̀wé, gbogbo ẹni tó ń wáṣẹ́, ọmọ ilé ìwé o. Òwúrọ̀ lọ́jọ́ ẹni máa ríre o, ẹni máa ríre o. Wọ́n á ṣe bá òwúrọ̀ o. Òwúrọ̀ lọ́jọ́ ẹni máa ríre o, ẹni máa ríre o. Wọ́n á ṣe bá òwúrọ̀ o. Good morning, I greet you. How do you do? Good morning, I greet you. We have some work to do. Good morning, I greet you. How was your night? Good morning, I greet you. Hope you have a beautiful day. If you do your work with honesty and pride, you will find your dreams coming true. Every day I say, if you would be patient and live within the law, there will be much progress. Everyone will be happy. Good morning, I greet you. How do you do? Good morning, I greet you. Leke, welcome to the Man of Thoughts. This is just a time for us to discuss on little things. Hopefully, I just know a few people might be joining. Not as much. I'm not expecting the whole world to join me. I'm here just to, say a few things to those audience who will be available. And I understand, naturally, when it comes to the idea of Africans, if we put out time, people might not be aware of those kind of when the Man of Thought will be coming on live. But I think few people will be joining us soon. And today, I just want to speak on few subjects, something very simple. Why I most likely what I believe about what is easy is not right. Whatever is easy is not right. But before we dive into such conversation, let us take some time to like to know what's going on in anyone's life. If perhaps there's anything anyone like to share, anything anyone would like to correct me on, probably in the past, a few of the conversation we've had, most likely the one I had lately or stuff like that. So who are the ones joining me tonight? We have one person joining me live. What is easy in life is not right. And I'll be debunking few of my own story, few of my own perspective about life, why I view things in certain areas of life. How I am moving and navigating my life. I will be debunking some of those conversations today. If you want to know how the Man of Thought really thinks, I would be exposing few of my own secrets so you understand, oh, this man is not really that special. Yes, I'm not special. But I think everyone is a gift from God. I don't claim to be special because specialty is, in my view, is like it's just like you hyping yourself for something that is irrelevant. There are certain rules that are set in life that does not respect how you are, as long as you appear in the vessel of mortal. As long as you're a mortal being, there's nothing special about anyone. Yes, you might be gifted. There's a soul of your ancestors. There are souls around you. There are gifts. There are things you have been able to modify. There are things you have been able to grow with. But it doesn't mean you are special. One of the misconceptions of a lot of religious people is to think that, oh, Jesus was the Son of God, so that makes him special than Muhammad. Then Elijah is not as special as Moses. Moses is not as special as anybody, but because Jesus, the story and the narration around Jesus, that makes Jesus special. We may not be able to fulfill everything that we are capable of, basically because of the time, the season, our ignorance, the informations that are available to us, our dedication towards things, the situations of life, the time at which we exist in. People most times forget when they talk about Jesus ascending to heaven. People always forget the fact that Elijah also ascended. When people talk about the specialty of Jesus, that Jesus ascended to heaven, some people always forgot that Moses was taken by God. I hear kind of some people will say, oh, Moses was being killed, God killed him and hid his body. If you did not see the body, how do you know he was killed? There's a high life man who used to sing in Africa. He would say, "Funny, funny identity." Sometimes we are just so confident of the things that we are purely ignorant of. Our ignorance sometimes are very massive. But I want to, my today is not about Jesus, not about religion. I'm not talking about those aspects because when it's not Sunday, I'm not willing to provoke religious people. It is when it's Sunday, that's when I like to hit the religious people to wake up. Today is about we discussing on why the things that are easy are not the right things to do to raise our consciousness, our understanding about life. I would like to even narrate few of my own story and part of my secret that I've always understand in life. You see, some of my principle in life is that you should either decide in your life or you can either discuss in your life. These are part of the principle I use in living my life. You should either decide in your life or you should either discuss in your life. What is the meaning of that? It simply means that in life, if you make a decision to decide, or if you have decided, you don't need to discuss your decision. If you are discussing, then it means you have not made a decision. I repeat, part of my perception on how I live my life is either you make a decision to decide or you make a decision to discuss. When you discuss, you haven't decided. When you decide, there's no point to discuss. Why I say it is, for those certain people, I don't know the perception people might have about me, looking at me online, but I think that I deliberately, due to the algorithm that points the years of the people who watch our YouTube channel and the rest of it, most of the people who watch my channel are within 25 to 65. These are the people who actually pay attention to what I talk about. And then that points to a direction that the people who actually pay attention to what I do are mostly those who are figuring it in life, who are trying to figure it in life, or those who have actually figured it in life, who just want to hear my opinion on few things. And trust me, I am as aware as anything in life to know that I don't know it all. I am so aware that I don't know it all, and I'm still trying to figure out life, regardless of my intentions, regardless of the the things that I think are my duties. I know I haven't figured it out in life. But what one of the things that I know that are part of my principle in life is to know how to make decision, to know how to decide. And once I make a decision in my life, I don't bother myself to discuss it. And I think one of the challenges a lot of people face in life is the idea of making decision. In fact, most of us are not good at making decisions in life. I don't think I'm even good either. I take time. When I call myself the man of thought, trust me, I wrestle with my thought. That's the idea of the man of thought. I wrestle so much with my thought. But it's unfortunate that when I see certain people, they find it absolutely difficult to be able to make good decisions, or will I even call it decisions, any decision in life. And so, if you're not making any decision in life, for you to mostly progress becomes close to impossible. You would just see your life in one particular place rolling over and over again, the same damn thing that has been happening in your life for many years, the same damn thing is where you still find yourself after many years. Now, where am I going to? Every of the lifestyle I live right now, they are all deliberate. There's something about the Joker. Joker would always say stuff like, I don't have plan, I just do things. That's for Joker. For me, I think there's an importance for for you having a plan in your life. And the reason is that when you have a plan in your life, the plan should be how would you want to be within yourself, not how would you want the world to view you. This is one of the mistakes I think a lot of people have. How do you want to be in your life compared to how do you want the world to view you? Most people have not been able to progress in life simply because they focus on how people should view them rather than focus on how they want to be to themselves. One of the things I'm able to get earlier in life is to understand that when I want to design my future, what I have to do is to emulate the personality or the persona of the kind of future that I am imagining. For example, let us say I want to be able to speak to audience, to a particular crowd of people. I have to become that particular kind of person within myself. If I am part of a crowd, for example, how would I want to be talked to by an individual? What kind of person would I appreciate in my life? I mirror myself and then I become that particular thing. And if there's any advice I can give to people, it would have been that try and look inward, try and become who you want to be. For example, there was a time I understood that I was going through a period in my life that everyone were clapping their hands for me and telling me that, oh guy, you are very good to go. You should be online and you should talk and you should go and do some kind of stuff. You are this, you are. I told them something. I said, I am so aware of my imperfections and I understand that when it is the right time for me to come out, to be who I need to be to the world, I would be that person at the right time. But how do I know I wasn't equipped? They were seeing me as, oh, this guy could do this guy was vast on this and that and the rest of it. But I knew that inside of me, I haven't perfected the kind of man that was ready for coming out. And some people will say, oh, if you come out, you're going to make money. If you start showing yourself online and you speak and the rest of it, yes, you'll be blessed. Yes, you will make money and the rest of it. And I told them sometimes, I'm like, money cannot be my own motivation. I don't know. Everybody has what motivates them. For me, money is not my own motivation. Part of the things that motivate me is anger. Anger motivates me a lot. And some people will say, why would you choose a negative trait to be what motivates you in life? I think how I see it is negative and positive, both of them are just emotions. You can use a negative emotion and you put it towards a positive direction. You can choose a positive direction, or you can put a positive emotion and you can put it into a negative direction. In essence, like this: if I despise something and you keep doing it, and maybe I'm like, oh, this thing, maybe I'm being oppressed by certain individuals and the rest of it. There's a point in my mind I have to get to, and I say, it's enough. And I say, okay, I want to make a change. I am tired of this, and I want to make sure something change along the line. I create that provocation within myself. And the moment I can get to a particular level, then I channel it into something that I understand that is going to be acceptable by mankind, that is going to be accepted universally, in the sense that as much as it is not going to destroy me or the person, but it's going to create awareness and it's going to help people along the line, then I push it towards that direction. I tell people sometimes that love and hatred, they are both the same thing. Don't take any emotion personally. The only thing you can hold on to people is their actions, not their emotions. Love and hate are the same thing. Someone who hates you can most likely love you in the twinkle of an eye. In fact, The reason why a lot of people hate you is simply because there's something inside of them that truly loves you. Because either the emotions of love or the emotions of hate, it only shows one thing. It shows that they care. If you love me, thank you. If I know you hate me, I appreciate you. And one of the funny thing that you can observe about YouTube and the rest of it, or any social media platform, a lot of content creators are focusing on the idea of how do we stimulate an emotion out of people. And so a lot of people go into psychology. When you look at most movies are always directed to give you a particular emotional feelings. Books that are written are also written most times to give you emotional feelings. For example, if you are watching CNN, BBC, and all this kind of stuff, one of the way BBC and CNN and all these TV channels have been able to survive for a very long time was that they understand the emotions of fear. And so everything they say about news should is always about fear. In fact, things that are not supposed to come out to the public, they just bring it out to the public as much as they know it's going to stimulate fear. They bring it out. On social media, currently today, part of the things that people are actually focusing on is the idea of sexuality. Sexuality. And because if you watch what you are not supposed to watch, your mood will change towards the direction of what you are watching. Consciously or unconsciously, it's definitely going to happen. And because social media understand that an emotion is very important, they would either promote comedy very well or they promote sexuality. And then we would ask ourselves questions. Why is it that everywhere there's hatred in life? Why is it that there's hatred in life? People are hating on each other and the rest of it. The reality that is that in life there's no much hatred as much as we exaggerate in our mind. Hatred is not that much. And in fact, if there's hatred in life, just know the same thing, there's so much love in life. Because it simply means people do care. When people don't care, people would ignore you. So when I come on social media, my intention is not to be loved by everyone. No, it's to understand that love and hatred is part of human existence. And while I live with people, it is important to know that the idea is not for people to actually love me. The idea is that am I doing something that is raising an emotion inside of them? Because when it raises an emotion, that means it draws their attention and it means something to them. But do not get me wrong, there's also an intention to it. The intention is to make sure everyone is being liberated mentally. And trust me, it's not because I think I figured it out. I haven't figured it out in life. But I understand that there's a space, there's a spiritual space that I live in. And I understand that if most people can also experience the same thing, most people would be at peace with themselves. And one of the things that is missing in life in today's world is peace. Peace is missing. I can remember that in my life, I have been I have seen some pain that I have been through in my life. And in today's world, when I look at people, everyone, when they come on social media or they want to have discussion, everyone wants to talk about the pain that they've been through in their life. And I understand, because if I talk about the pain of my life, it resonates with a lot of people because most people have experienced pain. In fact, you do not pay attention to the days you enjoy things. You pay attention to the day that negative things actually happen to you. So you are very cautious because painful experience are more recorded in our head than joyful experience. In fact, some people, maybe their parents were nice to them, but they will only feel things their parents had done to them when they were little, and they will forget every good thing their parents have done, and they will capitalize on the few negative things that their parents had done. Such is human nature. But the problem is, some of them do not understand why they think that way. When you don't understand why you are doing what you are doing, you are a prisoner of your own actions. You are a prisoner to your own actions. That means that every single time you do something, you blame it on somebody else, not holding yourself responsible to say that I did this to myself. I allowed this to happen to me. You always want to put the blame on somebody else. Then, maybe second to the last, one of the things I will touch is that when I make a decision when I was settling down in my life, because maybe while I was growing up, I already understood that I was going to be a family man. I love the idea of being a family man. Sometimes I pity people, men who are not family oriented in their mind. I think that if I had lived an extroverted life, I think maybe I might have a different perception. But I'm grateful that I am an introverted type, so I can see what is more important in my life, what is very important in my life. I pay attention to it. And part of the things I was able to figure out as a teenager while I was growing up was that there's nothing much in life to really accomplish. All these things are just facades, they are just lies. They are just we thinking that we are so important, we are so valuable, we are so great, we are unique. There's nothing. You know, I can remember one word vividly. I listened to Muhammad Ali when he was talking to certain individuals when Muhammad Ali was young. And then Muhammad Ali would say something like, if you want to be successful, you have to know that you're not supposed to take the time of your life to sleep. Some of you, you sleep 12 hours in a day. Then he did a lot of calculations. So he said, if you sleep 8 hours in a day, it simply means you have slept for almost 30% or 40% of your life. He made all those analyses. So the idea is you shouldn't sleep, you should just work and work and work and work very hard. And me, when people speak, I only look at the long-term outcome of their existence. Not that I'm judging anyone, but I'm just looking. I love being an observer, looking at people like this. In the Yoruba tribe, they say Tojuba Farabale Arimu. The meaning of that proverb is that when the eyes settles down and is not in rush, it will see the nose. When people are telling you all kinds of things, when people are preaching gospel, when people are hyping your spirit, motivating and inspiring and the rest of it, be patient. Just keep observing. You will see clearly. And so when he was saying that, oh, you don't sleep you can't be sleeping 8 hours in a day, is a waste of your life. 30% of your life is being wasted and the rest of it. And I asked myself, I'm sorry for those people who will get offended. But when I speak based of how I view things, not because I'm judging anybody, but that's how I just view things. I look at myself, I said, when he was old, he was shaking. Muhammad Ali was shaking when he was old. I said, maybe there are two reasons to it. Maybe he was punched excessively. He was supposed to quit. When he did not quit, he received too many punch. And I think that they say that Muhammad Ali is one of the greatest fighter who actually received a lot of punches. Doesn't quit. He rarely quits. And then maybe he didn't take care of himself, like sleeping at the right time, understanding that life is oh God, life is not a competition. We always wake up and we say Muhammad Ali is the greatest boxer of all time. Muhammad Ali is the greatest boxer of all time, and the rest of it. I'm like, what does it mean today to us? The idea is, what are the possibilities of the things that we can do as people to make sure that our time on earth, we use it judiciously in the way that it means a lot to us, it means a lot to those who matters to us, and then it means a lot, it can mean something to those who are able to witness us. Does our life have meaning, or is it a blessing to us, a blessing to those who are close to us, and at least it means something to those who are able to experience us? If we take ourselves so important, if we think that we are so unique and we overstress our life, we will die just like every other person. But in fact, we might be the contribution to our own falling. Let us look at two lives. Muhammad Ali is an example, who fought and he did not sleep according to his advice to the rest of people. Sleep 3 hours a day, sleep 4 hours a day. That was what Muhammad Ali is saying. And when he gets old, I wasn't happy to see Muhammad Ali, his old age. His old age was not pleasant. Trust me, I know most people would agree with me. His old age was not pleasant. He fought at the time sometimes that he was not supposed to fight. He put himself in too many situations, not giving himself enough rest, thinking that it is a war that he has to overcome by all means necessary. And today, everything is just an history. Then when we look at the life of somebody like Michael Jackson also, he was blessed with a unique voice. He was a great man, he was a great dancer, and the world loved him. He never needed to do much. But I could remember a statement Michael Jackson said, and he said that his childhood was taken from him. That means he never experienced himself as a child. But the worst thing he did was for him to be able to take away his darkness. Why? Because he's trying to make a statement. He took the blessing that God has given to him. Look at the similarity with Muhammad Ali. Muhammad Ali took his health, didn't take his health that serious. Yes, people might say he eat well better than an average person, maybe, but someone who says we shouldn't sleep, at least we should sleep like 3 hours or 4 hours a day, and that's what makes us good enough. Just like, Then look at Michael Jackson also. Michael Jackson, just because he was trying to so much please the world, to make the world like you can change the world, he turned the skin into white, expecting that those people are going to embrace him because he changed the color of his skin. Stereotypes and mindsets has nothing to do. There's nothing you can do to please certain individuals in life. If you cut your head off for people, you would not do enough. So trying to please the world is not going to change the world. You can't. So when after everything Michael Jackson did to himself, at the end of the day, was he welcomed by the white people? He wasn't. What are the lessons in all these things? The lesson there is this: live your life, know how you want to live the years of your life. Do what you can do. If you try to be the most competitive human being on the surface of this earth, fine for you. But I think that if I am God who creates heaven and earth, if I'm the source of creation, I don't think I will create many mankinds so that all mankind will compete against each other. If we all are doing well in our life, what is the point of competition? And trust me, I'm not downplaying the sports competition. That's not what I'm saying. I'm saying there's a time we are supposed to compete, sorry. Just like competition should look like a play. And trust me, I'm not saying boxing. Look, for sure. Even me, I have my punching bag outside. And I also box. I've boxed a lot in my life, play many places. Though I haven't gone into the professional field, but I'm good. At least till now that I speak to you, I'm very good. I'm confident of myself to a certain degree. But the reality is that how far are we willing to push life? To push life. Life is a blessing to us. And if we see that life is a blessing to us, we will cherish it and we will appreciate it and we will nurture it and we will take care of it. We would only do our best. But when you take your life like you are trying to impress others, when it is about impressing others, because competition is about impression, impressing other people that you are so much better than this other person. And I'm not saying you shouldn't compete. I'm saying you can be excessive in whatever you do. And if you don't pay attention to what life you're supposed to live, and you're focusing on how would the world view you, you you most likely will get things wrong. When I was young and things were not going fine in my life, part of the ways I was looking at my life is, how do I want to feel with myself when I'm at the age of 30? How do I want to feel with myself when I'm at the age of 36, 37, 40, 50, 55? How do I want to feel within myself? I wasn't focusing on what do I want to have. I already know what are the things that I am supposed to have, but I focus on how do I want to feel. Because each of the feelings that you have within yourself is a state of mind, and there's a manifestation of it that will make that particular state of mind remain balanced in that way. Let me try and explain it. Might not be very good at explaining this, but I will try. Now, I was thinking that when I get to a particular stage in my life, I should be able to relax and have a kind of mindset where I can reflect, where I can meditate, where I can where I can visualize things and be at peace with myself, and just be a loving person to my wife, to my children, and to my community. I wasn't thinking of what will I have. I was thinking of who will I be. Now, when I focused on who will I be, what I need to have to be what I need to be manifests itself without excessive stress. This is not motivational talk. Oh. It's not, I'm not inspiring you. I'm telling you the truth. Who will I be with myself and how will I be to other people is more important to me. How will I be when I say other people are the people who are close to me? Do I want to be a loving father? Do I want to be a respectable man? Do I want to be the person that whenever there's any situation that is going on, people can count on me? That was what I was visualizing myself to be. Now, every resources I need after I became those things within my heart and I've already embodied it, after a period of time, those things begin to, all the resources I need begin to show forth itself. How it happens, I don't know. I can remember part of the latest discussion I had with the enlightened one, and we both spoke on this particular issue, and he said something when he said there was a time he had to manifest money into his account. I haven't done that. I've not been able to do that. But what I've been able to do is to take a long time of my life to look at how do I want to be feeling at certain stage in my life. And the moment I can understand how I want to be feeling, I begin to embody those feelings. And before I know, this lifestyle that is convenient for me begin to show forth. Now, part of my feelings is what I want to say. One, inside them, is the idea that in my marriage, I don't want to cheat. In my own marriage, I don't want to cheat. Now, you will define cheating. Cheating is when you begin to lie to your woman, make her feel like you don't have any other woman, or make her feel like you are not going to date any other person, and at the end of the day, you're manipulating. Or you're hiding information of things that you know that if your woman or your man knows, they will be upset. So the question is, why would you do it in the first place? I also understand the fact that people cannot handle all the information, but it's like, what kind of things will you betray people with? It is funny that sometimes people use the word like they say, all men cheat. And it's true. It's true in a sense that all men can cheat. All men are capable of cheating. All women are also capable of cheating. When people say all men cheat, I'm just like, now wow. Do all men cheat, or are all men capable of cheating, and are all women also capable of cheating? I think we are capable. Just because we are capable doesn't mean we are participating. And I decided that for me to be able to have a fulfilled life, I have to be able to harmonize my spirit. Initially, dating, getting married, and the rest of it, yes, your body begins to fight you like, oh, don't you think you should have another woman because your wife is pregnant and all of that? Don't you think you need to go out and get a young girl and all those kind of stuff? Those temptations are there. But I tell people this particular statement that if you in the Lord's Prayer talk about, in Yoruba they call it Mafa Wasinu Idowo. That means do not lead us into temptation. And that prayer simply means if we are actually being led into temptation, we might fail, we might fall. Remember, Jesus told Peter, he said, Peter, before the fowl or chicken would crawl 3 times today, you would deny me. Peter was saying, nothing would happen, my God. Nothing would happen, Jesus Christ. I will be there. Nothing. Stupidity in confidence. He was so confident of himself that he could not even recognize his own weakness. And when people begin to ask him, are you the one, you are part of the people that are following Jesus Christ? He denied Jesus 3 good times, straight up. No hanky-panky, no negotiation. Weep. I don't know him. Then after the chicken crowed the 3rd time, he now hide, went somewhere to start crying. Late hour. You see, in life, for you to be able to overcome anything, you have to create an atmosphere that would not make you fall into various types of temptation. And the problem of today is that a lot of people are focusing on what will put them inside temptation. Like my mom will always tell me that whatever you would not eat, don't bring it close to your nose. You don't want to masturbate. You are watching pornography for 4 hours, 3 hours, 6 hours, 8 hours. You will. There is nothing that can save you. Almighty God cannot save you because you are using the screen to tempt yourself. You are taking a man who is married, who is bringing another woman to his marriage to say that they want to have threesome. His wife is not enough. His girlfriend is not enough, but he's bringing 2 people that he wants to be having sex with every single time. One day, they would decide to go test and say 2 men should sleep with them. If you think they are loyal to you, one day they would go out and go and do something, because you are creating a delusion into their head too, to manifest things. And in fact, you are making them to become lesbian. One man, when God give you one thing, God give her one thing, you now say that your one thing should have 2 things at a time. So any relationship, for example, that a man is having sex with two women on the same bed at the same time, you are reinforcing a mentality for those ladies to become lesbianism. So any single thing you want to do in life, you have to create an atmosphere, you have to create an environment. That is when those things will be able to flourish in the way you want them to flourish. For let's put it in this perspective. If you want to plant corn or yam or this thing, you have to look for an environment. There's a kind of soil, there's a kind of this thing that you have to produce around that place. That is when those things can be able to manifest after you do the due diligence, pour water, take care of the farm and the rest of it. And I tell people, discipline and principle cannot make a man not to cheat on his wife. Discipline and principle cannot make a man or a woman not to cheat. And we will say, women are very strong. Are they strong? You not seeing what is going on today? It's not about how many times somebody go to church are still there, are the ones that are still there. Network issue will not kill us in this place. Alhamdulillah. So like I was saying, brothers and sisters, principle and discipline are not what would help you to scale through temptation. Yes, they might help you in certain areas. But let me put it this way to you. If you take a man and you keep taking him to a club, a party where they drink beer or alcohol, and it was someone who used to take alcohol before and they kind of stopped taking alcohol at some point, or he make a decision not to, and he keeps going to the club, how long do you think he can hold on before he fall back to the bad habits? For you to get a good habit, you have to remove from the environment that amplifies your bad habits. If a man is intending to have a good relationship with his wife or with his family, he has to go away from where there are temptations of all kinds of women, and build an environment for himself where he can flourish and he wouldn't see too many things that would distract him. He has to be intentional about who he wants to be with himself and with the people around him. That is only when he can get a better direction of how he can go within his life. But if you make a decision and you say, as a man, I will be in, what's that place in, is it New York? No, not New York, Vegas. You are going to Vegas every time. What happens in Vegas stays in Vegas. When you are going to Vegas every time, going to the club, strippers club and the rest of it, every single time, and then you expect you're not going to fall, or you have those kind of women within that particular environment and the rest of it. What do you expect? What do you expect? So we one of the things that have been able to help me is that I knew who I wanted to be within myself or with myself as a person. And then the direction for me to be that kind of person to myself would show itself in a way of revelation. In a sense, like if I want to be a calm person, or if I want to be a loving father or something like this, I have to go away from noisy environment. I have to go away from certain environment. I have to grow certain things that will support the kind of person that I want to be. And with time, nature or the universe finds a way to support your decision if you are very deliberate and dedicated to it. But most people are not dedicated to the idea of, oh, I want to be loving, oh, I want to be caring, oh, I want to be this, oh, I want to be that. Focus on who you want to be, because at the end of the day, the problem a lot of people don't know they have is that most of them are the enemy to themselves. Mike Tyson says one word. He says, a man who is a friend to everyone is an enemy to himself. If you're trying to please the whole world, if you're trying to be the best in the sight of the whole world, you want the world to bow to you, the world to respect you, the whole world. If anyone insult me, if anyone abuse me, all I know is I have become a friend so much close to myself. When I talk about me and myself, they are two individuals. When I know that being with myself, there is love with me and myself communicating together. What would anybody say outside that will change my feelings or something? Yes, I'm not saying that I'm invisible or bulletproof, that nothing you say that can get to me, but I'm saying both of them are so good that they can relate with each other and they can take your word and throw it inside the river. Who are you to yourself actually matters in your life. You know, some people say, oh, Jesus came to die for you. He came to die for the whole world. I'm like, well, oh, I'm not saying you shouldn't think that Jesus came to die for the whole world, but at least he came from the Israelites, right? He came from Jews, right? Most of the Jews are not Christians, right? Most of the Israelites are not Christians, right? They practice their own tradition and culture, right? So it is we that we are Africans and Western countries and the rest. We are the one that put it on our head that he came to die for the whole world. When his own people, where he came from, when those ones did not believe that he died, they will say Jesus is their brother. They didn't see him as the Messiah and the rest of it. We see it as that. It's none of my business. Everyone is free to believe what they want to believe. And I also understand that most people will be so miserable if they don't have something to believe. Why? They don't even know themselves. They are strangers to themselves. So they just have to believe in one thing. Just because you have faith in something and something manifests doesn't mean that that thing is actually true. That doesn't mean that your faith or what you believe in is actually true. I know most people don't really understand. Most people say, what is this guy saying? Just because you believe in something. Okay, look at it in this perspective. If I sleep this night and I have a dream and I wake up every time when I have a dream and I say, oh, my ancestors came to me and they spoke to me in my dream and they told me that, oh, I have to bathe with a soap. I should take one leg up when I'm taking my bath in the bedroom or something like that. And I do it and I say, whenever I do it and I go out, something is going to happen. Something great is going to happen. Someone may dash me money or something like that. Just because just because it is happening doesn't mean it is true that my ancestors are the ones coming. It might be a, a conscious meditation or creation or manifestation of my thoughts that is coming into reality. Because you ask yourself, if Jesus is the Son of God and in the name of Jesus, good things happen, blah, blah, blah. What about the Muslims too that pray in the name of Allah and the things still happen for them and it's working fine for them? People want to hold on to beliefs, and that's fine. It's good. But where the issue is if you believe in something and your life, and they promise you that that thing is going to give you peace in your life, and you don't have peace in your life, that means you have to go to that thing every single time to have peace in your life. You are building a psychological addiction. Sundays or weekdays, maybe Tuesday, Thursday, or something like that, when you think that you must go to church, and if you go to church, you meet with God and the rest of it. And then if you did not go to church, you feel like, oh, you break the heart of God, you did not relate with God. Then the question is, what kind of God are you serving? Is he omnipresent? Because what place are you in that God, you cannot speak to your God? Because some people don't always understand also that the teachings that is being given to you, a lot of people do not even understand the teachings. People don't even listen to the teachings, because if you're paying attention to what you are being taught, you would have understand that the concept of God, the concept of Jesus, the concept of all these things, they are omnipresence. And because they are omnipresent, it simply means they can be present anywhere. But if you believe in things and those things are not working for you, then it simply means you believed in the wrong thing, or you don't even understand what you believe in. All I know is this: for a man to have peace within himself, a man has to know himself. You are the biggest book in life that you can ever read. If anyone tells you there's a book that you can study in life and to transcend, the best book you can ever read or to study is yourself. When you study yourself, you are at peace with yourself. And know that the journey for you to have peace within yourself is a journey that you are going to learn and unlearn, learn and unlearn, learn and unlearn. Most of the things that we hold on dear to us, that we say, this is truth, this is truth, this is how it's going to be. As time goes on, we always realize it is not as true as we see it. It was just something of the moment. It just looked that way. It's not exactly that way. Our reality is not the truth. What is appearing to you right now, look at what life was in the last 5 years of your life, how life was in the last 10 years of your life. Look at those things that you held on so much that you think those are absolute truths. Those who hold on to wife, those who hold on to children, those who hold on to business, those who hold on to cars, those who hold on to many material things, those who hold on to certain beliefs, certain this and that. Many of those things, what are your perceptions then? How much were you convinced during those times that that is everything? And right now, majority of those things don't matter anymore. The only person that will grow with you is yourself. If you neglect yourself, you will grow without yourself. Yourself will be a stranger to you. It is the reality and the truth that I'm telling you, both combined together. I try to make sure that wherever the stage of my life is, am I sure that myself is aligned with my moment or with this time? If I'm 37 years, I hope my spirit mind has grown to help develop this 37-year-old body. Then the would now say that, who do I want to be in 45? Myself will go before me. That means my inner man begins to think and work his way to be 45 so that he can groom this body, me, he can groom me to be the best version of myself at 45. I know what I'm saying. Most people would never understand what I'm saying. You will hear me, but you won't get it. But any that can get what I am saying, your case is like Peter in the Bible. When Jesus said, "You, who did they say I am?" This one say, "I heard that you are a son of carpenter." "You, who did they say I am?" They say, "You, I think you are one of the prophets." They say, "Who you?" Then they say, "Peter, who do you think?" Peter says, "You are the Son of God." They say, "Peter, flesh and blood has not revealed this to you. Upon ye will I build my church, and the gate of hell will not prevail over ye." Fraudsters have prevailed over churches now. Ah! A ní láti gbàdúrà gidi. Ẹlẹ́ṣẹ̀ ni wá, bàbá ẹ dáríjì wá o. Ẹ má wo tẹ̀ṣẹ̀ mọ́ wa lára. Bàbá, bàbá, bàbá. Mo wólẹ̀, mo wólẹ̀ gbàdúrà. I just sang a song from Lagbaja that talks about we need to pray because we are sinners. Jesus said, "Upon you will I build my church, and the gate of hell will not prevail over it." See scamming in religion now. What gate is that? Is this security gate? Is it electric fence? I don't understand though. Rwanda, you know how many churches they banned? Everything is time and season. So what I mean is this. There's someone inside of you that should grow. Trust all my family, every of my sisters, anybody. Whenever we go into any place, and since I was 18, 19, 20, and we go anywhere, they always ask me, am I the eldest? I have never spoken to anyone and they can predict my age. If not that I tell you, you cannot predict my age. You can't predict it. If I speak to people, people will say maybe I'm younger than, how do they put it? I'm younger or yes, I'm younger than my age. That's how people always perceive me. Most times when I ask people, what do you think my age is? Some people will say, you should be in your 40s or 45 or 43 or 42 or something like that. I'm like, what happened? Do you want to kill me? Why are you fast forwarding my age? The idea was that when I was young, I knew that there was myself and the vessel. Me is the vessel. Myself was an inner man. And myself is older than me as a physical being. And then I invest in myself. Myself at this age, myself is like 45 years. So 50 years, 45 years. So when myself speaks, and sometimes trust me, I as a person knows when I'm speaking, and I know when myself begins to speak. When myself begins to speak, myself is very interesting. Me, I'm just a person. But in a nutshell, what I'm trying to say is this. He that can understand what I'm saying should understand that if you have If you want joy, peace, happiness, love, everything to you want to experience this in the balanced amount of what nature has propelled us to be. Dogs fight, lion fight, every animals fights. No. But the reality is that most times these animals are at peace. Birds are at peace most times. And I'm not saying that they don't have they do have challenges. So in life, regardless of the path you choose, you are going to have challenges. If you decide to be destructive, you will have challenges. If you decide to be a righteous person, you will have challenges. But if you decide that you are going to balance all parts of life within yourself, you would also have challenges. But your challenges will be aligned to your desire and your work. Most of us are only working for the outside part of us. We are not working for the inner part of us. And when we don't invest in the inner side of us and we let our inner man to be more outstanding than our physical appearance, then no wonder some people will be so beautiful, so lovely, so sexy. All they have to do is to open their mouth and you say, "What? Get away behind me, devil. I know ye not." Hmm. One of the greatest choice I've made in my life. Trust me, life always disappoints somebody sometimes though. But one of the best choices I've made in my life was the woman I chose. I was very deliberate with the woman I chose. Initially, it doesn't seem as if that's the woman I chose, but I've designed the kind of woman I chose. Her attitude matched with the woman I needed in my life. This is not to brag with anybody. How I want my children to be, I created the environment for them. The environment that I knew that will make my children grow to the level at which I want them to grow. I only have to invest in the environment, because if I decide to invest so much in forcing to shape them, they would not be able to flourish. You cannot have a child in an hostile environment where the children are seeing kidnappers, seeing cultists, seeing police brutalizing people and all those stuff, and then you are telling the child to be gentle in the name of Jesus Christ. Gentle, be gentle, meditate, add yoga. You can't force children to be that. You create a peaceful environment around your children becomes naturally peaceful. You create a loving environment where your children do not witness too many evil, they become loving and peaceful. By the time they grow, when they find themselves in hostile environments, they know how to still show love to that environment. They become empathetic. Some people will say, do you think most people are not willing to do the same thing for their children? What were they willing to sacrifice to make sure it happens in the life of their children? How long have they invested before they even had the children? You don't have a dream. You are just sleeping with every kind of person. Wah. Then you wash yours. And then the child come. And economy come. You now have president like Tifnubu. And then fuel price go up. Now you are dreaming. They say if you don't plan to fail, if you don't fail to plan, you plan to fail. Now I know that there are situations that are also extreme, but I think that if every single person hold themselves responsible and to say, what life am I designing for myself? It is, you must be the architect of your life, architect of yourself, that self that is beyond, that should be above you. Some people, their self is a baby. They are more older than themselves. So when some elders speak, oh God, you would purge, because their words are very irritating. And you ask yourself, how can a 60-year-old person, 50-year-old person, 40-year-old person talk like a 13-year-old person? Don't be so. They neglect their self. So self, and the self is only old in age, in skin, in material world, but the inner self has been abandoned. Groom, invest more on your inner self. That's what I have for you tonight. If you haven't subscribed, subscribe to the channel. Those of you who stay online and you are watching me today, it's surprising though. I just wanted to be talking and I saw that some people just stay online too. Hopefully I've been able to say certain things that are impactful in the life of other people. Please subscribe, like, and share. I don't know how tomorrow is going to be. I would flow with how my spirit leads. Go to station tomorrow, I don't like abandoning people when there are cases like this, when they are scandal. I'm kind of tired. When I was talking today, my brain is not really complete. I'm just trying to blend in a little bit. So whatever tomorrow is going to be, God will let us know. I think I have some to discuss, many things we would have loved to dive into, but let's see how tomorrow is going to be. I appreciate those of you who are live, who are watching me, those who might on their phone and stay far away from the phone and just be hearing me speak. Let me just be talking, you know. But I appreciate every single one of you. May God Almighty bless the works of your hand. In one way, you guys are supporting me. Even if you have not joined membership, even if you are not doing super chat, even if you're for you to even stay live and you watch me, I am grateful for it. Stay, take care of your inner man and take care of yourself. It's important. It makes your life have what you can never phantom just in an average mind. Take care of both. And the sky, it's not about you jumping to the sky, because the sky will not be the limit and the sky will be your limit. All those things don't matter anymore. Those things don't really matter. What matters is that, are you at peace with yourself? Are you enjoying your life? Yes, you focus, you go into situations. Can you come back out of situations and still find yourself? The most important thing. Be a parent to yourself. Let your inner man be a parent that will nurture your body. Let's separate thyself. Know that you are not just particular flesh. Don't be that flesh, this particular meat. No, don't be. Know that there's a distinction between this flesh and an inner man. Separate them. Know the distinction between them and invest in the inner one. And trust me, you will be glad you did. That being said, have a great night. It's time to sleep. Bye-bye for now.